Thank you so much for joining us, Gayle.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are the Pinups for Vets Miss October. Tell us, for those who don't know, what is Pinup for Vets and what is being a pinup model?
Well, Pinups for Vets is a nonprofit organization started by Gina Elise. This is actually her 18th year publishing a calendar. And their main mission is to boost morale for our veterans here, our deployed soldiers and troops, even their family members. So elated to be part of the organization to actually continue service after service.
So all the pinup models are veterans, correct?
They are,
Okay.
yes. And this year, all of us add up to 150 years of service.
So how did you get involved in Pinups for Vets?
After seeing all the great work they were doing, I was following them on social media, also following them through all the different news outlets. I reached out for consideration, and I got the call about 6 weeks later to be featured as one of the pinups for the 2024 calendar.
So these are 12 veterans, female veterans, who go and you did a photo shoot, you had to learn how to do your hair. Tell us about that.
Oh, no, so actually for 2024, there's 13 veterans. All our hair and makeup was done for us. Our outfits were selected. This year we got to do it in a classic car museum to stay in the theme of the 50s era.
And then what sort of outreach do you guys do as pinups?
So as a pinup, even after the photo shoot, we still continue all our outreach programs. We reach out to different veterans hospitals, facilities, homes. We go out and visit the veterans that are there, spend some time, and bond with them and exchange stories.
Tell me a little bit about your time in the Navy. Why did you join the Navy?
Both my grandparents were in the armed forces in the Philippines, and they would tell me their war stories, and every time they always came back to what an honor it was to fight alongside the U.S. Armed Forces. And growing up, that was always like in the back of the mind that I wanted to be part of that. We always say, land of the free, home of the brave. I wanted to be one of the brave. I hope I'm making them proud by serving in the U.S. Armed Forces that they've been so proud to fight alongside.
You did 23 years in the Navy.
Yes,
What did you do in the Navy?
I did 23 years total, active duty and reserve. Active duty side, I was an electronic warfare technician. I was stationed on board the USS John Hancock, a Spruance-class destroyer. And then when I entered reserves, I cross-rated to intelligence specialist.
And you were one of the first females on your ship, right? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. So when I first checked on board, I was the first wave of females to be on the ship. The ship had just recently been outfitted to accept females. I think at the time there was maybe 12 to 14 of us before we deployed to the Mediterranean.
What is the most important thing about being a veteran?
When you meet another veteran, you have that common bond. It doesn't matter when you served, what branch you served in, what your job was. It's like automatically when you're going to a veteran event or when we're visiting different hospitals and facilities, automatically you're like, they know what you went through, you know what they went through, and you share that common bond and you share those stories of like what you did back then versus what's being done now.
As Miss October, what is the message that you would give other service members or veterans?
I would say we appreciate you. We appreciate the time that you took to serve your country, that you answered your call. I did the same thing. So I do understand what you went through, and thank you. It's just really to show our gratitude for everything that they've done for us, for this country.
And you were out in California with the other pinups for
Yes.
Veterans Day week. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So I just returned from California with a weekend full of events. We attended a gala to get the word out more about Pinups for Vets and what we do. And then the next day we visited Southern California Veterans Home. It was a really big veterans celebration. We danced with some of the residents there, signed the calendars, got to speak with them, talk to them, heard their stories, exchanged stories. It was extremely fulfilling to see the smiles on their faces and the gratitude, and so many of them coming up to us saying, thank you for coming to visit, thank you for talking to me. Like small gestures like that really make a difference.
And how can somebody get the 2024 calendar or get involved if they're interested?
Oh, well, so if anyone was interested in supporting Pinups for Vets, you can go to their website, pinupsforvets.com. You can also purchase a calendar or merchandise, and the funds raised from the online store help us support all the programs and outreach and morale boosters for all the vets. Not only vets, but the troops overseas. We create care packages We also do makeovers for some of the spouses and other female veterans as well.